Hey guys, it's me, Crimson Rosso, and I'm coming at you with another unscripted video this time, very similar to my old Rise of 3 one. But this time, we're talking about the Trials in the Sky games, more specifically the first one. You see, a lot of my friends have been telling me to get into these series for a long time, and I finally decided to about a week ago on Twitch. I've been streaming it over on Crimson Next Stage, and I wanted to give a few thoughts on my first impressions of the game. Now, I have not gotten into any major story stuff. We just wrapped up the prologue tonight, so I am only on the prologue stuff, but I wanted to give my sort of first thoughts on things like the combat, the graphics, the controls, the gameplay, stuff like that, and a few problems I have with it at the start. Now, keep in mind, again, this is completely unscripted. This is my thoughts going forward, just like the Rise of 3 video. And I kind of like that because I liked getting those out unscripted, and I wanted to just do it with this one. So here we go. I'll start off what I think is the best part of it all, and that is the gameplay. Now, I'm not really used to doing turn-based combat that has a grid-based style outside of Battle Network, but Battle Network is more of a grid-based action RPG hybrid, considering you move around the whole field. But I gotta say, this game is a lot of fun. I really enjoy the grid-based combat. Characters don't feel like they're super restricted to spots. Like, oh no, this guy will only move 2 spaces. You get a decent amount of room, but it never feels like it's an overt amount. It never feels like a ridiculous amount that's too broken, but it also never feels like it's restricted. It feels like a good amount. I like that. I like that the animations look nice. I'm usually fine with chibi stuff. I don't hate it as a lot of other people do. And I think Trails is able to keep that kind of aesthetic with its designs and animations, because it does that stuff very well. Everything feels very well animated and lovingly crafted. And every single special attack I've seen so far looks great. This was originally a PSP game, so the fact it looks as great as it does with its animations is very nice. And speaking of looking nice, I think the graphics in this game are really good, in all honesty, for a handheld PSP game that probably didn't have as much budget as something like Crisis Core or Birth by Sleep. So the fact it looks as good as this is honestly very impressive. I love the layouts, just of the whole areas, of the few areas we've been to so far. I love how everything looks. Nothing really looks super muddy or from this era of gaming kind of thing, like a lot of other handhelds or, freaking console stuff does. It does pretty good at looking pretty timeless. Not everything's perfect. The character models, despite liking the chibi style, can look a bit dated in comparison to some chibi stuff of now. But other than that, I'd say the graphics are really good. I also really like what the story is doing so far. Since we just beat the prologue, we're just getting into everything. I really enjoy how the characters are written more than anything else from this story, since we haven't gotten to the whole big thing yet. I think Joshua and Estelle bounce off really well. It's usually kind of hard to nail the two protagonists and have a good back and forth that never feels mean-spirited, but never once did I ever think their back and forths were mean-spirited. They felt like people who genuinely cared about each other, just shooting the shit, and they never seemed like they got super, insulted by what the other said, and I like that kind of dynamic. I like that Joshua kind of plays the straight man to Estelle. Estelle's the happy-go-lucky, naive protagonist that has a good heart, and Joshua's the straight man, a little more cold behavior. I dig that. I will say, though, that I think my favorite character so far is Joshua, because I like how they're setting up a lot of stuff with him. He's been dropping a lot of these hints that I really like. He's mentioning, oh, I think we should have killed them. There's a past to me that you don't know about. There's some stuff you don't know. I dig that. I like that they're setting up this nuance and intrigue about him. It works really well, and it's got me genuinely invested about what the story's going to bring. Now, I've praised this game to hell and back. I think I should get to my problems with it. First off, man, the encounter rate is ridiculous in this game. I don't mind random encounters, and I do like how you can see the monsters on the field, but sometimes, my god, it feels like enemies just come at you every 10 seconds. Not even 10, more like 5. It feels like you can't walk in any line whatsoever, and then all of a sudden just new enemy shows up. It is exhausting. I like the combat, but it's sort of those things where it just gets exhausting. So after a while, I just started running away from fights, because enemies, after you get to a set level, just don't really give you enough experience to really, care. It's just, well, all right, 3 experience to the other 200 I need. Boy, I can't wait to do that. That was annoying. Again, it's probably my biggest problem next to the quest system, where all the side quest stuff is basically timed from what I've learned. So while I don't see myself 100%ing this game, I can see how that would be a massive problem, and I didn't really like it either. I don't like when quests are like timed. It's been a complaint I've had for Rise of 3 with like the side stuff. Oh, you've only got set amount of time to do it, or else fuck you, you don't get them. It's just a weird thing I've never really liked in games. The only time I really thought it was okay was Persona 3, but that's because they actively give you an insane length of time to complete it. And unlike in Trails where it's just like, hey, you don't know how long this is gonna go, so have fun, sport. And that is just, it's frustrating. That's just probably my two biggest complaints. Everything else is a minor nitpick. One thing I am kind of mixed on is the music. Like, I don't think it's bad, but I don't really think it's good either. Like, I enjoy the overworld themes, but the boss and enemy fights just don't really have that exciting of music. They feel more like whimsical, like it's music you hear in a mystery dungeon game, and I don't really think that fits for an adventure like Trails so far. Like, I don't hate it, I just wish it was just a bit better. Other than that, my experience of this whole game has been a genuinely solid one. I'm very excited to see what the future holds for this and the rest of the series, and I'm hoping you all liked this small first impressions. I really enjoy doing these non-scripted videos from time to time, and I might do more first impressions along the line. And that's pretty much it. If you guys like this first impressions video, do me a solid and drop a like and a sub if you wish. And if you want to follow on with this Trails journey, if that interests you in any way, I'm actually streaming this game over on my Twitch channel, Crimson Next Stage. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to join us. We do this every Monday and Tuesday, with Wednesday and Thursday being our Rise of 3 playthroughs, and Friday being, you know, a Souls game or whatever. And then Saturday we'll do something on Twitch or Kick, I don't know. Either way, again, if you like this, like and sub, and I'll see y'all lovelies next Saturday for another video. Stay solid.